interactive Q&A with our artists, so get your questions ready. We'll see you soon.
Time to start the battle, make my way, shifting through the shadows. But if I know you, you're moving where the sun goes. Take my hand, lead me and I'll follow. But it's all on you this time. I'm giving it up when I'm on the line. Let's give this a life. Let's give this a life. Let's
Hey guys, what's up? This is Ken Susi here with Fishman and the Everything You Hear Is True podcast and live stream. Today we have some very special guests, but before I get to that, I'd really like, if you're watching today, please do us a favor, head over to the comment section and start asking our guests some questions. We are here, right here, just like right here. Hi, how you doing? We are taking all types of questions. They're going to see it. We're going to see it on the screen. Obviously, we want to make this as interactive as possible. But so if you are interested in any type of Fishman gear, please do us a favor. Head over to www.fishman.com. On our website, you're going to see our artist page, our products, all the things that we offer, as well as support. Just tons of great stuff. Joe Barbieri, how you doing? Joe's from the office. He's watching live right now. He's asking questions, and so should you be. And also, please do us a favor. It really helps us if you head over to the YouTube page, click the like and subscribe button, set your notifications so you don't miss out any of these events. We always do this every week, and it's just one of those great times where you get to connect with your favorite artists. So now I'd like to introduce my guest. This is a very rare kind of occasion because it's not often that one of our Fluence artists is also with another Fluence artist, but that artist just so happens to be a producer. So I'd like to introduce to you Kevin Antrassain and Sarah JoAnne. How you guys doing?
Hi, good.
I see that you guys are socially distancing very well.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Yeah, right. The whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I heard that, Kevin owns Backroom Studios, if you guys don't know, and, he also is a COVID testing center, so he's... So, yeah, with all the...
got tested for this. Yeah, right, for the interview.
Exactly. So guys, what are you guys working on right now? This is exciting because it's not very often that we get two Fluence artists plus our, one of our top producers making a record. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, my band is called Anchor Thought, and I'm recording an EP right now. It looks like it's going to be like 6 songs, and we finished most of them.
We did?
Yeah. There's 2 that are there's two that we were like completely finished, and I think I have like 1 more to do to like start and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about it, and it's going really well.
Yeah, guitar tones sound awesome. We're doing things a little bit backwards this time. We're doing guitar first.
Yeah, we're doing guitar first. I have like in my demos I have the drums like programmed drums, and I'm having my friend record the drums afterwards.
Yeah. So we're trying to we're doing it like inverse, right? So but we start with the guitars as like the bass, and they sound great. We've used a bunch of different. Actually, we have the 3 on because we were tracking this morning. We have the Rev for the cleans.
Yeah.
We have the Friedman Double J for the leads, and then we have the Spawn Nitro for the rhythm. So yeah, that's what we've been working with right now.
Yeah.
Nice. That's amazing. Go on.
Yeah.
I was going to say I haven't really experienced any Rev amps before, and it's really awesome. I think I played a Friedman before, but I never even heard of Spawn. So I was really excited to just like come in here, and the first day we spent probably like at least 30 minutes, maybe an hour, just like going through all of them and figuring out which one was best for which tone, but it was a lot of fun.
I think if you haven't heard of the Spawn, I think you're not old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like relevant, like an Eddie Van Halen vibe for sure, a super cranked out Marshall thing. So
yeah, just to date ourselves, Kevin and I are pretty much close to the same age. I mean, probably in 2005 or so, or 2006, those amps started popping up, and they were, we were buying them like crazy. So that's cool that you still have one.
And not too many people I know that still use them much or like know much about them, surprisingly, because they sound so good.
Yeah.
But I know Killswitch had a run with them. That's like the only other band that I'm aware of that used them, like touring. I'm sure there's others, but that's the only one I know.
Nice. Well, let's pivot real quick to take a question. Benjamin's asking, who is this woman? so Sarah.
Oh my God.
Well, my name is Kevin.
So yeah, Sarah, let's tell our viewers, I'm assuming that they're on the Fishman site, exactly who you are and what you do.
Yeah, well, my name's Sarah JoAnne Draper, and I play guitar and I sing in the band Anchorthought. We are working on our next EP right now, and I do art and stuff too, but mainly right now my focus, well, I'm at the studio right now, mainly right now my focus is getting this EP done.
And if you want a broad spectrum of the sound, just know that she's probably better at guitar than you. So let's keep that.
I don't know.
She's better than me.
That's what I always do. I go online and I ask, who's this woman that's better than me at guitar? How dare she? No, Sarah's been on our artist roster for probably now like 2 or 3 years at this point. And
it's been at least 2 years,
Yeah, and you play Ormsby guitars, correct?
Yeah, I play Ormsby guitars.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. I mean, you first started off, you weren't using Ormsby, and now you are.
Yeah, when I was 21, I got on board with Legator, and then about a year later, I switched over to Ormsby, and I'm super happy with these guitars. This one is a GTX is the model, and it is a 7-string. I have the Tosin signature pickups. Can you see it? I can't see what the.
We could totally see you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I have some fuzz up here.
Yeah, I put that in there
for the noise. But yeah, I love the way the headstocks look. It plays really well. They take really good care of me. Yeah, I'm working on a custom right now. They haven't started on it yet, but I'm working on like figuring out what specs I want. I used a couple of Kevin's guitars with a whammy bar for some of the leads that I recorded, and it like has inspired me to maybe get one on my custom.
She's obsessed.
Dude, I probably look like a little kid when I was.
No, it's amazing. I love that seeing that. It's usually the first time I bust out the EBO with a band, like weekly.
Yeah, he showed me the EBO too. If you don't know what this is, it's like it has a little LED light.
Every producer has one. Yeah, they're so good.
If ever the session is like kind of like not going well, I'll be like, fuck, what can I do? And then I grab the EBO and I'm like, show them, and they're like, okay, this is the best thing ever. I'm like, yes, I'm back in.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we call that the part saver. You're having a hard time with a part. It's like, just put some EBO on it. It'll sound sick.
So good.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's awesome. So Kevin's asking for Sarah, not a question, but I really appreciate the humility you show in the practice stuff you post. It helps me understand the things I should be working on.
Awesome.
So so talk about like where he's seeing that and what you do on your social media.
I assume what he's talking about is like, I mean, I post like process stuff too, but sometimes I'll literally just throw on my camera when I'm practicing and record the room audio and just post that, and it's not always perfect, and I'll be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? I think it's really important to not feel like you have to have like internet content that's fully processed all the time. You know what I mean? I think that's what he's talking about. Like when I throw on just like me practicing online and stuff like that, and just talk about what I'm doing and maybe the exercise that I'm doing or the troubles that I'm having at the time. Because I do that a lot because it also helps me, because I might get some advice from someone that's watching, or I might just get some ideas or something. So yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and it's cool when, a player as qualified as yourself also has your guard down a little bit, because people can see how you're playing, you know what I mean, and how where the areas are that you're working on, and it's I think it's kind of cool instead of having a bunch of polished material on your socials. But do you want to you've been using Fluence for a while. Let's talk about your pickups, because you did mention that you're using the Tosin Abasi pickups in your Ormsby. What is it about Fluence that you're liking right now? And just talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, from the start, okay, let me start from the beginning. I found out about the Fluence pickups because I was just walking around at NAMM 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2017. I was literally just walking around, and I just happened to be walking by when Tosin was doing his demo at the Fishman booth. So I walk up and everything. and I watch it, and I was like, that sounds cool, you know. But it's at NAMM, so you can't really hear them very well. But
What do you mean? You hear perfectly.
Exactly.
But, it piqued my interest, so I borrowed one of my friend's guitars to record my last EP with, and she had the Fishmans in hers. I don't know if she had the Tosin ones or not. I can't remember. I think she did. But after I spent like a week recording with them, I was like, dude, these things are sick. Like, I can't go back to my guitar. And because I play a lot of cleans, and these are like just the best clean tones I've ever played. Like, it just feels so good. And I also will use it in conjunction, not right now because we have all these amps, but when I'm at home, I'll use it in conjunction with the Abasi Neural DSP plugin, which I would assume is made to be played with these pickups. And those two together, just like, it really does it for me. I really enjoy the sound.
And we do, if you want to, at some point, we have the ability just to play anything right now if you wanted to hear like a strum or something. But
Yeah, what I want you to do is it would be cool if you played them, but I also want to revisit that too, because it's interesting that you said that these things work on clean so well. But do us a favor, show us a little bit about why, you know, what clean tone you're using and how you use it, and just show us the pickups. It'd be cool.
Cool. Do you want me to fire up the amps? She can play.
Yeah, I think, this one.
Oh, you're right.
Is the clean one.
So I'll go over to our handy amp switcher over here and just switch to the red.
Oh God.
It's all good. Did you break your guitar?
Yes, it's broken.
That's it. She's done.
That's it.
Game
That's
over.
So, Ken, you should be getting that signal now, I think, from her end.
Yeah, we're hearing it.
Cool.
Let me tune a little bit. But yeah, totally. Like, I don't want to go back to any other pickups after this. Like, it's been, like you said, it's been over 2 years, and I don't even think about using anything else. And I also love that you guys have the, I also have the, what do you call this? The battery charger?
The universal battery pack.
Yeah, that one. That makes a huge difference, because that was the one thing that was like, that I was like questioning when I was switching to pickups that you need to use batteries with. And it worked out at first and it was fine, but like having the ability to just like plug my guitar in at any time is just like a total game changer.
Just make sure your guitar tech doesn't leave it plugged in on stage for hours.
Yeah, fuck that.
That could totally happen. Well, actually, just for everybody that's watching, the universal battery pack gives you 200 plus hours of use at 9 volts consistently throughout the charge. So when it gets to about 10 hours left, and if you're not looking like Kevin, the battery could run out, but that would be user error at that point. But you basically got 200 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So show us what's up.
Let me see.
Cool. Yeah, so this is the split coil setup, and something I really love about these pickups is that they're pretty quiet. Like, we don't have any noise right now. Do we, like, I don't hear anything. Usually when I play guitar, when I would play pickups, like split coil, it would have like a weird, like, noise.
Yeah. I can actually hear. I'll open up the door so you can hear it through the cab.
Yeah, I can't really hear much.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That sounds a little off. But yeah, I'll play a couple of those split coil things. It's fine.
Oh, the door just closed itself.
Oh my god, it just closed again.
We're on a roll. Auto closing doors.
There we go. Can you hear that?
We could totally hear that. And while you're setting up real quick, Dawn is asking, haven't installed mine because I'm intimidated. Haha. Own them for like 5 months now. Dawn, don't be intimidated. And if you are intimidated, please head over to your local guitar shop and find somebody that is a licensed technician to install your pickups. And which pickups is she running, you're asking? She is running the Tosin Abasi Signature Series pickups.
Yep. Yeah, I would definitely get someone who knows what make sure they know what they're doing when they install them. Like, you don't want to like come home and then have it not work on the bridge pickup, but it works on the neck pickup for no reason, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But I just love how clear all the notes are. And it's really good for tapping too. The notes just sound really crisp. I feel like it sounds weird, but especially when I have new strings, I feel like I can hear my skin on the strings. That sounds gross, but really, like, it's wild. Cool.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And
Thanks.
I could hear your skin through the monitors over here.
Yeah, for real.
Kevin Meyer is asking, is Ormsby able to put Fishman in multi-scale guitars? Ormsby is technically able to put multi-scale pickups in their guitars. They are currently not routed for them. They are not a OEM partner of ours. But with that being said, if you choose to put Fluence in one of your multi-scale guitars, you could use a set of Tosin soap bar pickups. If you have a 7-string, you'd put an 8-string set in there. If you have a 6-string, you put a 7-string set in there, so it covers the length of the strings. So yes, and Don saying, and yes, it sounds so good, wicked playing. So you have a fan.
Cool. Was it on the split or was that on the non-split?
Yeah, this is a split quote.
Cool.
That's what I use for cleans usually. But yeah, I'm trying to get Ormsby to just like, I've been talking to Perry Ormsby, the owner. He the guy that I'm talking to about my custom. My custom's gonna have like a slightly less fan, so that I can just put the regular soap bar pickups in there. The thing about the Ormsby guitars is they have like a really extreme fan, most of them. So like you can't put, like Ken said, you would have to put
Like that one?
Yeah, like let me show
I'll
you.
grab it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Take this sock off.
No, you gotta have the sock on it.
Yeah.
The other rock star is the tech now. I love it.
You want to swap?
Oh, cool.
Able to. Oh, this one's so much lighter. It feels like.
Yeah, this is a little heavier, but see, like this fan is a little extreme, so you would have to put an 8-string set in this guitar if it were to have Fishman's in it. This is my boyfriend's guitar, but he's also an Ormsby artist. But I was just showing you this to show you like the scale of the fan. But I'm trying to talk to Ormsby, to Perry, about just making guitars that are meant for Fishman's.
Oh.
I really want them to start like carrying guitars that have Fishman's in them, so I don't have to like. That's just an extra step that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I was actually not aware that we were not working with Ormsby, but Perry actually was texting me on Instagram this morning, thanking me for giving you so much support and showing off your guitars, and has plans to maybe work with Fishman soon. So, because obviously because of players like you, it obviously helps. But that's awesome. Don is saying, so because these pickups have no copper in them, is 60 cycle hertz hum noise reduced? I thought I broke my amp just the other day with my ESP, I think it's LH150 pickups. Well, Don, actually it's not necessarily the copper. The copper wire is the most inconsistent part of a old school pickup, but Fluence is just inherently noiseless. With this new coil, we're able to take away that kind of 60 cycle hum. We give you multiple voicings, we give you multiple options, phase alignment, all this great stuff. Obviously, we've been talking about that, but yeah, you should move over to Fishman. Sorry, I'm stuttering. So Kevin, actually, you've actually had a long history with us too. If you guys don't know, Kevin was in one of my favorite bands of all time, the Dillinger Escape Plan, and it really doesn't matter what he did before that. But
I don't think I didn't do anything.
no, but obviously you and I had a relationship together. I mean, wow, probably around the same time, 2 or 3 years ago. And what was your experience finding Fluence for the first time? And obviously you're a producer, so I would integrate that too.
Yeah. We have a few guitars equipped with them here. And then the nice thing about them is, like when we were doing the last Dillinger record for the guitars here, like we just literally had an EMG guitar that we wanted the Fluence in, and we just hot swapped it. Like we took off the strings and then just popped it out and then popped the new one in. So that was easy. No like resoldering needed for that. I think we met up at NAMM because, you know, somewhere, probably some shady corner of the Hilton or something. And we were after hours buds. And yeah, so you showed me the Fluence stuff, and then you sent me a set of classics. And actually, no, I think you had me play the classics and the moderns. And while I think Ben, the other guitar player in the band, preferred the moderns, I preferred the classics. And I just compared them when I got home to like all my other guitars here. You can't see them now, but there's like a ton of guitars in this room. And they had such a nice like mid-range aggressive push, and then a really detailed top end. I'm like a nut for high end. I'm probably more on the brighter side of guitar tones. But they have a really great response in the top end, and that's what really drew me to them. I would literally do like hot swap comparisons where I would have the guitar, same guitar build with Vigier, plug in the guitar with the Fishman, and then the like the Seymour Duncan or whatever it was at the time, and it was just like night and day. So yeah, that's what we toured with for a while, and they're like super robust system, no problems at all. Mm-hmm. Until we got into a bus accident, I lost all of them. Yeah. Are you there, Ken?
Oh, we can't hear
Sorry,
you.
yes, sorry about that. No, that bus accident was insane. Glad you're alive. I never told you this, but I'm glad you're alive. This is great. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No, but no, being a producer. So here's one of the things that you know, I've noticed in the studio. Back when I was with you know, another pickup company, I would have, you know, you're endorsed by a guitar company, whether it be Ornsby or ESP or Ibanez or whatever it is, and you find yourself like in the studio noticing that like certain guitars, which obviously the wood matters, but you would sometimes have like the same guitar, almost just like in different colors or formats or whatever it is, and then you find yourself like saying like, well, this guitar sounds like this and this guitar sounds like that. I found that Fluence actually is like an even playing field. It's like you could taste test the woods, not really battling the inconsistencies of the old pickups. Did you ever kind of hear that when you were in the studio? Yeah,
I mean, definitely it's a more consistent thing since it's on, I guess, like, you know, on a chip instead of just like windings, for sure. And then like, obviously if the pickup's wound differently, the same pickup could sound slightly differently. But yeah, the consistency is totally there. It's more modern for sure. Yeah. Cause it's funny because, you know, you spend so much time with kind of like almost the same guitar at your studio, especially when you're endorsed, and you just find yourself like, these guitars sound completely different. And you think you have like 25 guitars and only one of them is good. It's like it's such a problem. But yeah, so going back to Sarah, obviously you do a little bit of distorted playing and heavy stuff. Do you want to show off the Tosin pickups a little bit more as far as like what those offer you with your distorted tone? Cool. Yeah, which is the one you want to grab. The other one. All right, we'll switch it to the Splawn.
Splawn. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here.
That should be live.
They are seeing the Splawn.
Yes.
Cool.
I got it in blue. Most of my amps are blue. If it's too loud, let me know. We
Tune again.
She literally put these strings on this morning, so.
Nice. Everyone, this is what it's like to tune.
Everyone, this is what it's like every 10 minutes in a session with me.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
Totally.
Yeah,
Yep, we're hearing that.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, I love, like he was talking about, like the frequencies you can hear. It's just, there's just more color to the chords, if that makes sense. I don't really know the technical term for it, but it just feels really good.
You're
Yeah.
a chug. You're a chugger. It's awesome.
Shugs. Yeah. I mean, I usually play my rhythms with the bridge pickup and the single coil. When I do thumping and stuff, I'll have it on the split coil setting on the bridge pickup too, like this. And that's really fun too. I feel like these pickups just kind of cover like all ranges of different tones that you could ever want, really. All the ones that I've ever wanted. You know what I mean? I don't know if there are any other tones out there that someone could want, but so far I haven't been disappointed by anything that I've tried.
Yeah, and they have like the dual voicing too, so like you can make a different.
Yeah, you basically have like 3 different guitars, 3 different pickups, basically 3 different sets of pickups, because you have the 3 voicings. At least in these ones.
Yeah, that's kind of like what the whole mentality behind Fluences is, that we give you so many options. Usually, in order to get all those sounds that you were talking about, you would need to have like multiple guitars, or you would need to like, you would either have to have multiple guitars or be able to swap your pickups in and out of that same guitar at all times. At least in a live setting, you could literally like use your push pulls, and you have completely different sounding pickups in that one guitar. So, Ty is asking, what band is Sarah in?
Anchor Thought. Anchor like a anchor on a ship, and then thought, like you think of something. Yes.
Yep. Like Sarah's anchored to the Fishman Fluence contract. For life.
Yeah, for life, Anchor. I'm gonna be like 80 years old. I don't know if Ken'll still be around then, but like.
I think you all know my plan. I'm going to be the first real RoboCop, so I will outlive all of you.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, so I guess I think we should talk about where you come from. I mean, there's questions coming in here asking you about your band and about who you are. Like, in this is a great time, I think. There was always great guitar players like Jennifer Batten out there, like people in the past, but it seems like females are like getting into the guitar game a lot more, and there's a lot more support. Where do you come from? Like, what is it that like got you into guitar, and what are your inspirations? Like, talk about your early influences and how you got to the place that you are now.
Okay, yeah. Well, I started playing music when I was like 8. I started taking piano lessons and stuff like that, and learning to read music. And then when I was 13, I started listening to rock and stuff. I really liked all over the place, like Queen. Older bands like Led Zeppelin and stuff, but then also like 30 Seconds to Mars, and Smashing Pumpkins was also a really big one for me when I was a teenager.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Let's see. I started playing guitar when I was 13, and I pretty much taught myself. I already knew about music theory and stuff like that because I had taken piano lessons. So my stepdad had an acoustic guitar and a chord booklet in the case, and I literally was just like sitting in my room and just kind of figured out how to translate chords from piano to guitar, and that's pretty much how I taught myself. And then when I was 14, I got my first bass, and I started playing bass too. I'm not as good at bass. Like, I've never even. I used to be in jazz band, and I played bass in jazz band, but as far as like being in in a band playing bass, I don't think that would work because the bass just looks ridiculous on me. I have an Ormsby bass, and I have the Fishman pickups in that too. I wish I had that with me right now, but yeah, it looks absolutely ridiculous when I'm standing up with it. But anyway,
you look like you're always going to be crushed by your instrument.
yeah, no, it literally fucking hurts to like. Oh, sorry. Can I like? Sorry.
You can swear all. You could swear all you want, but I was gonna say try to. We have some kids watching, but definitely. I definitely gotta say that. Yeah, you like I'm shorter. I'm only 5'7". I know that you said that you're legally. You know what I mean? Like, what's that?
3 foot tall.
I'm 4'11". If I were an inch shorter, I would legally be a midget. In some state.
So you always look like you're always like there's a 50% chance you could be crushed by your instrument, which is cool.
Yep. Do you want to see the chair that she plays guitar in?
Yes.
Oh my
god.
So like,
It's so good.
the last time we had a session, it took us a while to find a stool that would work for me, so my legs weren't dangling. And so this time I brought my chair from home. It probably actually looks normal when you hold it because I'm holding it.
No,
Yeah.
it's a toddler chair.
Yeah, for like a baby.
Yeah, I literally went to the store and got a child's chair, and it works. My legs are at a 90-degree angle when I sit in this.
She legit records in that.
Yeah, like through this whole stream, the whole time I've been playing, my legs have been dangling, and I'm just sitting there like,
Like a Muppet.
yeah.
I love this zinger right here. My guitar player, Buzz. Kevin writes, Buzz is pumped not to be the shortest artist on the roster. So, yes, Buzz is probably psyched. But that is pretty hilarious. That chair is...
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though? For like someone who's, like, I would say average height, being in a smaller chair allows you to play guitar a little bit better. You can put your leg up a little bit. For you need something a little a little lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
anyway, back what we were talking about, just like influences and stuff like that. Yeah, so I pretty much just like played rock stuff, and up until I was like 18 or 19, and then I discovered like Pliny and Animals as Leaders and all that kind of stuff. And the more I got into that, the more I got into like more modern metal stuff, and that just kind of shaped the music that I play now. I feel like Between the Buried and Me was the band that I found when I was in high school that got me into like prog stuff. And I think that my music is kind of like a mix between the Contortionist and a little bit of knockoff Animals as Leaders and some like Between the Buried and Me. That's how I see it. I don't know how anyone else sees it, but like those are pretty much the main influences that I have.
That's awesome. I have a direct tie with those guys. I actually recorded Exoplanet by those guys.
Nice.
The Contortionists.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't sound great, but I was early in my recording career, but it's all right. They did a good job.
Get the mixes, get the stems, remix
Yeah.
it.
Nah, I'm too old for that. I have to go mow my lawn. But no, so that's cool, Sarah. Kevin, obviously you have a backstory too as well. We haven't really dug into it, but obviously we just said that you played Dillinger Escape Plan, but you have started a studio. I believe it's called Backroom Studios. What is it that Backroom Studios offers? Obviously you offer great recordings, but there's so much more to your business, correct?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Mediocre to okay recordings. Let's go with that. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
You know, I've been owning this studio for 13 years, and then I did recording before that. And yeah, so it's a 7,000 square foot spot. It's pretty big. We have like about 20 rooms here. A bunch of them are like rehearsal rooms. So bands come in by the month and they have leases and they have keys to their rooms, and they come in and they have their own like little home away from home where they jam and work on stuff. And then we have like hourly rooms where they come in, they rent by the hour. Actually, like while we were in the like waiting time for this interview, like someone just made a quick call and booked a time. So I'm constantly on the phone, just like making appointments and stuff like that. So yeah, we do hourly rehearsals. We do video production. We do obviously albums, EPs, singles, whatever you need. Track, edit, mix, master, the whole deal. We recently started a new service with live stream shows because people can't play shows. So now we're equipped to do, and we have one in November we have like a week where we have 5 shows, so it's starting to really pick up because people want to play, obviously, and they want to do it in a safe environment. And it's a good medium right now until we're allowed to actually go out and do it again. But so that's a new thing. It's kind of cool. And then I teched for a bunch of bands. I teched for Deftones. I teched for Todd Rundgren for a while.
Rundgren?
Yeah. Then I teched for Dillinger Escape Plan because they were one of my favorite bands. And they actually had a room here. They were the first band at the studio before I owned it. And then I hooked up with them. Ben taught me guitar a long time ago when I was like 18. And then I actually kind of like lost contact with him. He plays guitar in Dillinger. And then after college, and I took over the studio, I went to college for audio. And then he was here all the time, and I was here all the time. And then he ended up taking my band out on the road, Knife to Glitter. And then we toured together, and then I became their tech. And then I eventually weaseled my way into the band. So
at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, exactly. Actually, we were at the shooting range, so it was not too far off.
That's awesome.
And then I now currently, after that band kind of went into a hibernation, I do this full time, and then I also teach at William Patterson University as a professor there too.
Ooh, you teaching music?
Yeah, audio.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like science or physics or. You never know. Like, but studio guys are so techie. You know what I mean? Hooking up cables, they're usually like half engineer, half producer. But so anyway, well, Ty's asking, tell Shai Hulud to get a live stream going.
Hey, let's do it.
Right? Having them play their first record would be pretty sick. Ty is also saying, ever heard of a band called The End, which I believe is Will Putney's band? They have. Yeah, they have some good prog. Do they have prog stuff?
I think they're more aggressive, and Billy's the drummer of that. So Billy from Dillinger plays in Will's band, or
Nice.
their band. Yeah,
Will's band.
Yeah, whoever.
All right, we have someone else writing, love your guitar playing and style, Sarah. So people love your stuff. So so Kevin, also you're doing a lot of gear reviews out of there. I don't think we mentioned that, but I think you were like a Nam Hamburglar or something like that.
Oh yeah. Next time we have Nam, I'm gonna try to do something different. So that's like my troll character, and I'm just go around and I just try to like really irritate everybody, especially a certain company, which I won't say who it is, that I'm particularly not a fan of.
Okay.
But if you watch my YouTube channel, you'll definitely find out who that company is. Yeah, and so the YouTube channel kind of like, since I got more free time from not touring full time, I decided to do some reviews and like tutorials and just kind of like basic like advice for people doing or trying to do the studio gig or the producer gig. Because when I started, like I didn't have YouTube really. I kind of learned everything on my own, and I feel like there's so much I've learned from owning a business and being a small business owner for 13 years. That no one taught me. I had to learn like the super hard way.
Yeah.
And then because you think, all I need to do is like learn how to record people, and that's really all that I need to do. It's like, no, that's literally like the smallest portion of owning a successful business.
Yep.
You have to actually own the business
Yep.
and pay your bills and stuff like that. There's a lot to it. So just stuff that I would hope that someone would have told me before I jumped into this.
Yeah, so that's actually a pretty good. I like what you said there, and I want to kind of discuss that a little bit. So, being a producer, obviously, the business aspect of it is a big part. A lot of people don't know that even when you're a musician, you should be good with finance, just as good as you are with guitar. A lot of people don't know that, and you've seen bands crumble because they've ran themselves in the ground, right? So that's definitely one point. But the second point is becoming a producer. Ooh, sorry about that. I lost my camera, but you'll still hear me. So one of the things that people are doing is that there's a lot of online people that are doing like these videos of like tutorials on how to mix. So that's like super subjective. There's a lot of like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about that a little bit, just because like I think. How do you learn how to become a producer without, with YouTube and without YouTube?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's different areas too. Like doing this gig, you have to wear like tons of hats if you want to have money. If your goal is to not have any money, then who cares? But if you want to actually like be able to pay for things and reinvest in your business and grow the business, you have to be like multifaceted and be able to like engineer. So when I say engineer, for people who don't know, I mean like do all the tech stuff, like know what mics go where, how they work, what's best for this scenario, blah, blah, how to get sounds, how to work all the gear stuff. That's just that part of it. Then there's producing, which is like me helping her out with maybe a chord or like a harmony, maybe giving advice on which part may fit or may not fit, stuff like that. And that's something, it's hard to teach. You kind of have to have a good music sensibility to understand like arrangement and part writing and harmony, rhythm, obviously too, if you're working with drums and stuff like that. So that's like a whole different thing, which I definitely picked up a lot of that from just playing in bands for eternity, and then also going to school for music and minoring in classical guitar. So ear training is like huge, like being able to recognize intervals just from like you playing. Our teacher used to go behind a piano and just hit a random chord, like a 4-note chord, and we'd have to write out the intervals of each chord. That was like, yes. Yeah, it's brutal. But you know, that stuff really helps you just like understand intervals, which is important for if I'm going to tell her this doesn't work, I have to be able to prove that it doesn't work or it does work.
Yeah.
So then there's that part of the business, and then there's the whole other thing, which is the finance side of it and understanding how to like run the business and not go under, which is like a whole different thing. And at college, I try to teach that as best I can to people. And even if you're good at the engineering thing, you're good at the producing thing, you can manage your finances, but you're not a people person and you can't communicate with people and be reliable, you need to have all the stuff. So there's like so much involved, and that's why it's very difficult for people to actually do the whole studio thing successfully.
I honestly think that's super. I think that's super important. I'm gonna switch my camera real quick, and you got two of me now, guys. How do you like that? And we're gonna add you guys in there. Oh, that's not gonna work. So let's go back to that. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Sorry. Let me get myself up here. And
by the way, when you first came on, I was super impressed with all like the graphics, and I'm gonna have to pick your brain about some of that later and how you're doing that and what program you're using for all
yeah,
that.
well, obviously I'm not doing it great, so relevant as everyone switches to DIY recordings and such.
I don't know. I've never been on a label, but from what it seems like, I mean, it's like a bank, you know what I mean? If you need help with finances that you're going to pay back later, then it works. It could also work with helping you find someone to do album artwork or helping you find someone to make t-shirts for you and stuff like that. But you can also just find out how to do that on your own. But yeah, and like I said, I'm not on a label, but if I were like shopping for a label, or if a label were to offer me a deal or something like that, I would really just be looking at if I needed to borrow money, I would really be looking at, okay, like what's the interest rate, all that stuff. What kind of resources can you offer? Like, do you have some guy in your back pocket that can do album artwork for a really good price? Do you have someone who can, I don't know, like a manager? I don't know if labels have anything to do with booking tours, but like, do they really?
Sometimes. I mean, they might be able to know someone like that they've worked with over the years, but pretty much exactly what you said. The market dictates how useful they are and how valuable they are. And if, you know, in the current state of affairs, especially if there's not much touring going on, but, you know, before all that, you know, if you can get your music out there without their help and you can produce the music on a low budget that you can stomach yourself and then hopefully recoup somehow with either, you know, like sales, merchandise, live streaming, whatever the new thing is. And the thing is, it's kind of hard for a lot of artists to be extrovert like that, especially myself. Like, I'm more of an introvert, and I don't want to like constantly blast on social media like, hey, check out what I'm doing. but unfortunately, like that's the game. You have to really, if you want to run it as a business, you have to constantly be putting out content. So yeah, I mean, they're probably going to go either more extinct or they're just going to be super like service based. Like, hey, you've got most of the stuff done, but maybe you need publishing, or maybe you need a tour. Maybe we can help with that. Maybe we have a good like, merch kind of connect or something. But as far as like a finance thing, you could probably right now you can get interest like super low interest loans. So you're probably better off just like getting a loan and like
just be rich.
Yeah, true. Be rich.
Just have money, and then you won't need a label.
I usually ask big time studio producers like Kevin for money. That's my secret.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, promise them pickups and just borrow thousands of dollars with no interest.
Right. I just spent all on cars, so I'm the worst at that. Advice about that.
Awesome. We have another question right here, off topic. I saw Dillinger Escape Plan perform at an old church in Newport, Kentucky, and it was so hard to hear with all that was going on with the echo. Haha. So, would you say he's right on that, or could he just not hear Dillinger because you guys are spastic on stage?
No, I mean, like it's the live thing and the record thing for that band are two completely different things, right? First of all, when those dudes are and I say those dudes because they were doing all those records before I was in the band. When they're in the studio with Steve Evans, the producer, if you guys don't know him, check him out. He's great. He is brutal to them. Like he will make you. You may know him too, Ken.
I love him.
He will make you do the part like 100 times until you can get it right. So like it's not that like live they can't play the parts, but live, if you've ever seen the band, it's just like the most insane band you'll ever see. It's like, and I can say that as a subjective thing because I was a huge fan of the band because of that before I joined. And like you go to see them, and like you can go see them at a festival or see us at a festival, and it's like cool, we're doing our thing. It's a big open spot, probably not the best setting. Or you can see us in like a really small club, and you may die. There will 100% be blood. We used to call it Dillinger on ice because the amount of sweat that is on the stage floor, we could not even stand. It's it's just like icing. It's gross, but like you can't stand it. You're just like falling everywhere. And who knows what's gonna happen? Like, could be the singer spitting fire when that was allowed. I mean, he still did it when it wasn't allowed. Probably the drum kit will get thrown into the crowd. Who knows what's gonna happen? And it's different every time. It's not like we have like a thing that we do. It's just like if it happens, it happens. If I look over, and so a lot of times people was like, "Did you see the singer? He jumped off this balcony." I was like, I was honestly not paying attention. I was trying to play the song because they're hard to play. Yeah.
We did a co-headliner, Unearth and Dillinger Escape Plan, like I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, whatever it was, and I could vouch for that. Like Dillinger doesn't do the same show every night. Sometimes you do certain things and you can certain things. These guys are absolutely insane. I would say my favorite memory is that Greg, the singer, threw a homemade like box that was like an ego riser or whatever you want to call it, straight in the air and hit Ben in the head, and he was like bleeding profusely, but they didn't stop the set. And it was like I was like, these guys are insane. So good on you, man. I couldn't survive that band at all.
But they do that. Well, we do that like every night, and it's like it's something crazy every night that when you go back for like the encore or whatever, and you're like finally seeing everyone, you can regroup for like maybe 2 minutes. Someone's bleeding from the face, and you're like, "What happened? Like, what point did that happen?"
I want to say.
Sorry.
I was gonna say. I think one of the shows, the first show Greg ever played, we played this thing called Furnace Fest in Alabama or Birmingham or whatever, and I think he threw a bass cab. There was a huge stage, and then like through like on one side of the stage was like a river, right? And he threw the bass cab out into the water and like surfed the thing at the end of the set.
Sounds about right. I mean, there were so many stories that from joining the band and then hearing them or other people talk about the stories that I wasn't aware of. It's insane. I mean, like you go as far as like stuff that we got banned from a lot of clubs for like, defecating on stage and throwing it at the audience. Like I'm saying, like nothing is off limits. And like, sometimes they would just burn guitar cabs on stage. They would burn drum sets on stage. Just like, who knows? That's what the draw kind of is. And when I first joined them, playing. Like we did like a Europe tour, and then we came back into the U.S. thing. And I guess the gimmick on that was it was kind of like a build-up hype tour for the final record. So they aimed it all at really small clubs. Like some of the clubs, no joke, were the size of this room, like 20 by 20. And like it sounds really good, like to do it like that, because one, it's a tight room, so you hear everything, not like that Kentucky show.
Yeah.
But it's madness, and it's like it's super dangerous probably to go to the shows.
Yeah,
like that.
I would be like that little girl like hiding in the back because I don't do the crazy moshing stuff. Like I've been punched too many. I'm small, can't handle it. I would enjoy it, but I would enjoy it from the back corner of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get to an age where you stop doing that kind of thing. I grew up in Boston. Oh, by the way, I have to say, guys, sorry, you're right. Furnace Fest, not Hellfest. Hellfest was Syracuse. Furnace Fest is something else. But anyway, yeah, you're totally right. Like growing up in Boston, those shows were super violent. But like not like Dillinger violent in the sense that they hurt themselves. Everybody else was violent around the band, so it's just two different things.
Yeah, I feel like the Dillinger fan base, especially, I mean, when we were playing like last, was old enough where they weren't really like, I mean, obviously some of them were like moshing and stuff, but like it was more like you said, self-inflicted pain than like, you know, interacting with like the audience and them hurting each other or them hurting us. It was more like we would abuse them. I mean, and Ben has gotten sued I don't know how many times. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, I watch him and he's older than me. And he's built like a tank, man. That dude will jump off of an 8x10 cab and land on his knees every night for a whole like 2-month-long tour.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I just watch him do it over and over. I'm like, how can you physically do that? So it's pretty amazing. Like watching these guys. Like I have to try to keep up. I'm like one of the younger ones.
I love the video of him where he went totally. He plays in Suicidal Tendencies now, and he goes to jump up. Like it's funny. He will jump off like a 4x12 or an 8x10, land on his knees, land on his head, or whatever it is. I've seen him do the dangerous stuff too. But it's the simple stuff that gets you. Like he's playing with Suicidal Tendencies. He runs across stage. He goes to put his foot up on just like a regular monitor, hits a wheel, and just barrels himself over. It's always the dumb stuff that hurts you. Yeah,
but he gets up like nothing. Like it just didn't happen. Like, and he's like, I don't know if he's feeling it later, but man, that dude is just insane. Like I say him like that dude, but like he's like one of my best friends, and he was my best man at my wedding. But you know, I've known him for forever. Yeah, just watching him was like always awesome as like a fan, and then having him being in the band with him was just like, man, I really got to step up my game if I'm gonna play next to this guy.
You'll appreciate this. So like the closest I ever got to Ben Wyman is do you remember Chrome? Because you're from Jersey, right?
Club Chrome? Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be Club A before that, right?
Yeah. So I literally was playing, and there was monitors on the floor, but I decided to run from one side of the stage to the other in front of the monitors. And about halfway through the stage, I tripped over some cables, but tripped like for the second half of the stage, like I can't catch myself. And I took out a bunch of stage potatoes, like on the side of the stage, and we literally all hit the floor, like 20 of us. And I was just like, I pretended like I knew what I was doing.
That's awesome.
I got this. But anyway, guys, listen, we've kept you guys long enough. You guys got a record to make. I would definitely like to thank everybody for showing up for this episode of Everything You Hear Is True with Fishman, with Kevin and Sarah. We'd like to thank you guys for showing up. Guys, thank you. We'll see you guys soon, and good luck on your record, and hopefully we'll be doing more content soon, right?
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, guys, hang tight. We're going to sign off, but I want to talk to you. So see you later, everybody.
All right.